Early mornings are a staple for landscape and nature photographers. As the city sleeps, I pack my car, and I'm about to embark on a 600-kilometer round trip to a location that has become one of my favorite places to shoot. Revisiting again and again, I've been able to discover something new each time, and for me, that leads to a deeper and more meaningful connection both to the location and to my work. Things are finally right. With you and I, the future is bright. When I arrived, the roadside parking was packed beyond capacity. I loaded up my gear and made my way down to the lakeside, a little worried about how busy it was going to be, with a lakeside cafe and bicycle routes. Despite how busy the roadside was, the lake itself was wide open. Plenty of room for everyone, just the way I like it. Hear the crickets, see the moon, side by side and through. No limit to what we can do. Oh, well, you know what we have, let's hold on tight. Found what we're looking for in life. All right, well, we are on the lake now, and there is something wonderful and magical about coming back and visiting an old friend. Building relationships with locations is like building relationships with people. So I highly encourage all of you, just keep visiting places again and again. Don't just take and never go back again. I know there's some times where it's not avoidable. Maybe you're on a once-in-a-lifetime holiday, but get to know your local areas, and really, you won't be disappointed. Okay. Now, I've had to display the tripod legs out pretty wide so I didn't cast any shadow into the shot, because the sun has just popped through the clouds and it's really making these bubbles here pop. Now, there's a lot of bubbles close to the surface. There's this really intricate pattern where none of the bubbles are touching. There's space in between each one. The difficulty was finding a composition that is aesthetically pleasing, right? Now, each bubble is a different size and they have a different weight to them. So making sure that I give each kind of area of the photograph a similar weight. So there's not one side of the photograph that feels heavy. Now, obviously, it's a photograph. It's not going to be heavy, but it feels heavy if there's a larger blob or a larger bubble. Let's call them bubbles instead of blobs. There's a larger bubble, and maybe on the opposite side there's just smaller bubbles, and they have a visual weight. So that's what I'm trying to be careful of. Now, as I'm sitting here, I do feel the slight fluctuations back and forth of the lake. And it's a little bit unnerving, to be honest. Right. Can you hear that? Let me put the mic down onto the ice and see if you can hear some of that while I'm working. Right. So I'm shooting at 1/100th of a second. F14, ISO 200, and just slightly above correct exposure here. And I think that this is going to be... This zone that I'm in has a lot of fractures and cracks in it. Actually, just above here, there's a lot of fractures as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think this is a zone that is very volatile. So maybe I'll leave it at that. I'm going to throw this image up on the screen now. Winter sleep, spring new life, summer thrive. Full relief, winter sleep, spring new life, summer thrive. Rise. hunting for bubbles on a frozen lake in Hokkaido, Japan. Sometimes I have to pinch myself. Man, these fissures here of cracked ice, it's probably about, I want to say about a foot thick, this ice. But when you see these cracks, and they're everywhere, and some of them are quite fresh, these cracks, makes you a little bit nervous. It's like a different world. That's a nice shot right there. So the light is coming and going now, but when it is out, it is really helping to make these bubbles just sparkle in the light. And this year, there's a lot less clarity in the water than there was last year. But I have found another spot here. And what I'm doing is I'm actually just putting, well, first I'm clearing off a bit of the snow on the top here. And then I'm just literally putting my lens with the lens hood on right onto the ice itself. And I'm having it spot focus because I'm shooting down and looking for bubbles that are lower down in the ice. And that way, the ones that are next to it look like stacked coins or stacked pancakes. And there's these towering bubbles on either side of these ones that are a little bit further down in the water. So that's what I'm looking for now. Oh, there you are. There you are. Oh, that's an interesting shot. Exactly what I was looking for, with a bunch of stacks of bubbles around it. And it really creates a lot of depth. The exploration took on a new dimension from above. The rugged textures and patterns of the landscape revealed themselves, and I found myself mesmerized by its abstract beauty. In the middle of the lake, right behind me here, there are fishermen huts set up. I'm guessing they're fishing for those little tiny smelt fish that reminds me of Grumpy Old Men. When I was a child, that movie came out, and it is hilarious, and I still love that film. But whenever I see these little huts, it just reminds me of that. Anyway, these ones are orange and green, and they really stand out. They pop out from the color of the lake, the background, and they're really cool. When these fishermen began their long trek home, I knew that this was going to be a wonderful photo opportunity. I zoomed in as they walked through the frame. I quickly adjusted my composition to include the last hut on the left, switched back to stills mode,
and captured a shot. As they continued to walk away, I thanked my good fortune of being in the right place at the right time.
I absolutely love building relationships with the locations that I visit. And this is one of them. This is one of them that really sticks with me. I really resonate with whatever the energy is here. I resonate with it. And I hope that the images that I'm sharing with you convey that. I'm going to stay until sunset, which is only about an hour away. But to be honest, I think that I got the shots that I'm looking for today. And I might just start walking back to the car. But yeah, I'm going to stay on the lake until sunset. And if something does strike my fancy, I will photograph it. If not, I'm going to leave you at this.
I took my time walking back to the car, enjoying the wind down after a long and busy day, when I happened upon this scene. I took a shot and said thank you to the spirit of the lake for such a wonderful gift of a day. I made it back to the lake by late morning. It was a beautiful, crisp, clear winter morning. The open patchwork of the ice from yesterday was covered with a fresh dusting of snow overnight. Finding new patches of bubbles was part of the adventure. When a particularly beautiful area was discovered, it felt like uncovering an ancient fresco in an archaeological dig.
So I want to clear out as much space as I can with this huge crack. I mean, there are so many cracks, perpendicular, dissecting, bisecting, trisecting. There are so many gaps and cracks here with a massive amount of bubbles. So I'm going to clear out this space, and then I brought hot water as well. And what that's going to do is just polish the surface a little bit, because it's a little bit rough and it's not very clear. It's a little bit cloudy. So hopefully by throwing hot water across the surface, that it'll smooth it out just a little bit. We'll see. This patch here is pretty impressive. And because there's so many fractures, it's really about finding the balance in between this main fracture here and the minor fractures all around. Now, the difficulty is, do I want to use that main fracture as the center of the image, the central part of the image, and everything kind of emanates from there? Or do I want to have a secondary fracture as a kind of counterpoint? that's the challenge, and that's where understanding the relationships of geometric shapes and the weights of different parts of the image, bigger circles as opposed to smaller circles, bigger cracks as opposed to smaller cracks. So I think I do like the idea of having the central crack. I'm not going to put it center, maybe slightly right of center, because I do have this beautiful tangent that runs straight out and goes to a bigger circle to the left. So that would be in the upper left-hand part of the image, potentially.
I used boiling water to clear up the surface of the ice, and it was like peeling off a plastic cover on a screen. The clarity improved immensely, and so did my excitement.
Like the phoenix from the ash, find my strength from within. I am stronger than before. I know, let it go. Rise, rise,
Let me thank my sponsors of this video, my wife and son, who give me the time, space, love, and support to make these videos, and without which none of this would be possible.
Sun has just tucked behind a very small cloud, so let me see if I can wrap this up before it pops out again. I want to say thank you so much for watching. This episode was another experience for me of just deepening my relationship with the locations that I come to. And I've been to this location many times before, and each time I come, I find that I'm enriched with the experience. I'm enriched by the experience. I have a more meaningful and deeper relationship with the area, and hopefully that translates well in the photos that I take. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And here comes the sun. I'll see you next time.